just treats any black person as unqualified and fires them from the federal government. It's just like out and out racism. It's like a racial purge.
Where did that happen where they were firing black people?
I mean, I don't know the names off the top of my head, but yeah.
That sounds not true.
When a person is just making up something, yeah, Tim Pool is not going to mince words. He's going to point it out. Tim Pool does what any good host should do. Welcome to the John Amanchukwu Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My friends, do me a big favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this episode and like it as well. It helps me work and flow with the algorithm. Hey, and there's no rhythm like the algorithm. Now, in this episode, we will take a look at a left-wing nut job who's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's talking with the one and only Tim Pool, which is a man that I appreciate Tim Pool. He's a man's man. He's a hard hitter. You know, he calls out the lies. When a person is just making up something, yeah, Tim Pool is not going to mince words. He's going to point it out. And he does just that in this video. Take a look.
Just treats any black person as unqualified and fires them from the federal government. It's just like out and out racism. It's like a racial purge.
Where did that happen where they were firing black people?
I mean, I don't know the names off the top of my head, but yeah.
That sounds not true.
Right.
I mean,
true.
yeah.
Even if it were true, it's so overt that like...
Yeah, they're being really overt about it. I mean, Donald Trump is going on television and going, planes are crashing because of DEI. So it's
DEI
really,
is a philosophy, is an ideology.
He's saying because they're unqualified air traffic controllers because they were hired because they're people of color. It's racist. He's racist. He's a racist man, and he's issuing racist policy, and the entire country's going along with it because we're in a period of white racial backlash.
When do you think he became racist?
I think he's been racist his whole life.
How did he win all those awards then? Civil rights leader awards?
Donald Trump has won civil rights leader awards. I mean, awards are dumb.
Oh my goodness. Listen here, man. So, you know, Tim Pool does what any good host should do or would do. If President Trump is a racist, if he's just firing black people from the federal government, right? Then, okay, who are you talking about? And he asked the guy, and the guy said, I don't have any names here. I don't have any names. It's like, so why are you bringing something up as damaging as that? No one wants to be called a racist, you know? Hey, I'm black. I don't want to be called a racist. I'm not a racist. I love all people. And I call out the mess of all people. I call out the mess in the black community. I call out the mess in the white community, Asian, you know, Pacific Islander, Hispanic, Indian, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, everybody is due correction. You know, this book right here, the Bible, it corrects everybody, not just, you know, black people or white people. But if you're going to call someone a racist, you need to be able to produce some evidence. And then Tim Pool told him, yeah, man, he's received some, you know, some awards, you know, for civil rights and things of that nature. And he's like, oh, yeah. What awards? What awards? Well, first and foremost, President Trump in 2019 received the Bipartisan Justice Award, awarded by 2020 Bipartisan Justice Center. Reason? Recognized for his leadership in passing the First Step Act, a bipartisan criminal justice reform aimed at reducing recidivism and reformed sentencing laws. Event received during the Second Step Presidential Justice Forum at Benedict College, a historically black college in South Carolina. The award is the highest honor given annually by the organization to a public servant demonstrating the ability to work across the aisle for meaningful criminal justice reform. See this guy right here, man. I mean, the guy looked like a mad scientist too. He's just out of his mind. And you know, Democrats, man, they are desperate right now. I mean, they are desperate. They're just trying to find a way to find a mission. And I guess their new mission now is their old mission, which says they have no mission, and that is to just call President Trump a racist and to say that it's all about, you know, white supremacy and that he's about strengthening, the cause of white Aryans. And President Trump is, they say the H word, they say that he's out there trying to find ways to demonize minorities and colored folk and foreigners, all of this stuff that they just make up, and it makes no sense. Also in 1986, President Trump received the Ellis Island Medal of Honor, awarded by the National Ethnic Coalition of Organizations. Reason? Honored for his contributions as a real estate developer in New York City and his German heritage. Clarification, while Trump received the award alongside civil rights figures like Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali, his resignation, his recognition was not solely for, civil rights or contributions, but it was in the same category, which means that, they were honoring him for his work and his legacy with, different ethnicities, which is important. And it's just odd to me. As we prepare, to just show you some images, it's odd to me that everyone is now calling President Trump a racist today, but they had nothing to say when he was with people like Jesse Jackson, when he was hanging out with people like John King. They had nothing to say when he was hanging out with Oprah Winfrey. They had nothing to say when he was hanging out with Whoopi Goldberg. All of these individuals are people that President Trump hung out with. They loved him. He was the man when he was just pretty much the Don, the big real estate tycoon of New York that was building skyscrapers all over the world. Everyone was comfortable with him then. They were happy. Oprah Winfrey said that she loved them. They had a special connection and relationship. She would frequent Mar-a-Lago. Whoopi Goldberg on The View, that she loved him as well. Very supportive, very congratulatory of President Donald J. Trump. But when he said he was going to run for office, things changed. People switched up, which tells me, that some of these people make a religion out of politics. You can make a religion out of the Democrat Party, and you can make a religion out of the Republican Party. But hey, President Trump is a guy, hey man, from the beginning, he used to be just a regular, New York Democrat. But over the years, he began to see that, man, if America is going to improve, it's going to take some bold leadership. And keep in mind, he's a check writer. The guy is a check writer. He's writing big checks for people. Politicians come to him and they say, hey, Don, I need your help. I want to run for office. Hey, people like Reverend Jesse Jackson, who, when he ran for president, Trump bankrolled him and supported him. When he wanted space to put an office on Wall Street, Jesse Jackson came to the right man, and Trump helped him and didn't charge him a penny. But yet now President Trump is now a racist. He's a racist because he doesn't want to support the ideologies of the Democrat Party. And so now we need to tar and feather this guy and say, yeah, he doesn't like black people. I don't think that is right. I think he deserves better. When he had the show Apprentice, it didn't keep black people from going on that show. Yeah, they went on the show. They were glad to be in his presence and to play their part and to rehearse their lines and to see if they could win. But now, he's a racist. It doesn't make sense. And for black people who understand the magnitude of his legacy, we should always honor and revere President Trump, because this man showed up at the March for Life and worked to overturn Roe v. Wade by putting, the right people on the Supreme Court, which could get that done. And what does that mean to Black America? It means that the most racist institution and practices in our country can now be, reduced to the point where we have the chance of removing tens of millions of dollars from the big, beautiful bill and to reduce and zero out the amount of money that we give to Planned Parenthood, an institution that was created first as the Negro Project, as a plan to get rid of the black community. So are blacks now supposed to look at him and call him a racist? When if we can zero out the amount of money that Planned Parenthood receives and, break the back of that monster, that regime, the regime of the abortion industry, do you know how many more black babies would live? That's pro-black. The most pro-black thing that President Trump could do was fight for the sanctity of life and to make sure that black lives are preserved. No, man, miss me with all that racist talk. Y'all just mad at the man because the man campaigned and he won multiple times. I'll leave that there. But now he's doing what he said he was going to do, and you don't like it. Well, let me know what you think below in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, and God bless America.